Hi, my name is Rachel and I'm here today to bring you an all body Pilates beginners class. So I hope you enjoy. We're going to start off standing at the end of our mat, our feet being hip distance apart. So really that's just as though there's a tennis ball between the 2 feet, not much wider. Sometimes we think our hips are wider because we're going from the outside here, but we're thinking of the hip bones straight down. So we're turning, feet are just hip distance apart, arms down by our sides. And we'll send our weight towards our toes. And then we'll roll through the feet and send the weight back towards the heels, lift the toes a little, roll through the feet and we come to the toes, roll through the feet and we come back to the heels. So we want to feel that we're moving through the feet, loosening out the feet. The feet tend to get quite ignored and we do a lot on our feet all day long, so it's nice to actually loosen them out a bit. Coming to a center place where you feel balanced and then sending the pressure down into the big toe and then roll across through the toes to the baby toe and then roll from the baby toe across to the big toe, pressing down pressure on each toe as you open out and then pressing down across and then into the big toe and then coming back to somewhere that feels balanced and middle ground. We send our weight to the outsides of our feet, we lift the arches, we roll through again and we send the weight to the insides of the feet and we lift the outsides of the feet. We roll through, we lean onto the outsides of the feet, we lift the arches and we roll through again and we come to the center again. And then between all that movement and throughout the feet, we try to find somewhere where we feel balanced and grounded, feeling the earth in underneath us so that we feel centered and we feel grounded and that we feel solid on the feet. Spread the toes out wide and then we're nice and strong there. Taking a big inhale and send the hands up to the ceiling. Breathe into the lungs, fill it up. And then as we exhale, we open out the arms a little bit behind us, so we open our chest and then we let the chin come down to the chest. We take a big inhale, we send the hands up to the ceiling, we look up. We think about dropping the shoulders a little bit as we send the fingertips up rather than letting the shoulders come with us. And then we exhale, open out the arms a little bit behind us, chin to chest. Hold it here, guys, for a second. And then we're thinking shoulders back and down. And with chin a little further to the chest, we find length in the neck here, which feels really, really good. And then we release the shoulders out a little bit and we roll forward, let the collarbones come forward towards the mat and the arms go heavy. We stop here. We take a bend in the knees so that we have a soft bend. We let go of the weight of our head from our shoulders and neck. We let go of our arms and we shake it all out. We shake around to the right hand side and then we come through and we shake around to the opposite side. We come back to center, take a big inhale. And then as we exhale, we let ourselves roll fully down towards the mat, feeling as though the vertebrae in the spine are stretching out. When we get towards the mat, we let the head go again, shake it out. We take hold of our elbows, take a big inhale. And then as we exhale, sigh and release and let all the worries of the world down into the mat. Big inhale. And as we exhale, sigh and release it down. Let go of the elbows, walk the hands around to the left side and take a big bend in the right knee. Walk the hands through center, walk them around to the right hand side, take a big bend in the left knee. Walk the hands through center again and we walk around to the left hand side, we take a big bend in the right knee. And then last time we walk through center, walk around to the right, take a big bend in the left knee. We'll bring our hands back to center and then we'll walk our hands out and we bring ourselves into a down dog position. So from here, guys, we want to send our chest back through the arms a little so that we feel the stretch out of the shoulders. The seat bones go high and then we walk our legs out. So we take a big bend in one knee and we send the opposite heel down. And you'll feel that the stretch come into that hamstring as you send the heel down. So we want to think, I really want to send that heel back. So we're swaying in the hips here and we're loosening those out also. And then conscious to send the chest back. So we come out of the shoulders a little bit too. And we're thinking, oh, nice. Open out those shoulders, stretch it out, particularly if you've been at a desk or anything. And also just the way we all naturally sit, we're a bit curved forward. So we want to think about opening out that chest. We've got 3 and 2 and last one. We take a big bend in both knees now so we can even bounce on the legs a little. So we big bend. We send the seat bones back and high. So our chest is coming back towards the feet. We look back at our feet and we send our tummy to the thighs. Big stretch out of the shoulders here. We might send a little extra pressure over to the right hand, then over to the left hand. So we're loosening out those shoulders, left and right. And then we come back to center. We'll straighten up the legs and we send the two heels down. Big hamstring stretch, and we're thinking seat bones back and high. Big stretch into the hamstrings. 3 and 2 and 1. And then we'll walk our feet towards our hands. And we can keep a bend in the knees here for the moment. And we'll come to the fingertips of our hands, and there's a big bend in the knees. As we inhale, we straighten up the legs, we look forward, and we have a flat spine. Think about sending the shoulders back here. And then as we exhale, we fold forward, big bend in those knees, and we let the head come towards the knees. We take a big inhale, we look forward, flat spine, open the heads of the shoulders. And then as we exhale, we fold forward and we think bring the head to the knees. Big inhale, we look forward, flat spine, straight legs, and then exhale, we fold down, head towards the knees. From here, we'll step our right foot out to the edge of the mat. The toes turn slightly out, and then we turn our left foot to the edge of the mat, and our toes turn slightly out. We bring our seat bones fully down. Now you might find that this is quite a low position I'm in. We want to have our heels down here, guys. We don't want to be on the honkers like so. We really want to try and have those heels down. So that might mean that you're up here, and that's okay. It takes a bit of work to come down here. So go to wherever you can today. And it might be that you need to come in and out of it and, shake yourself out. That's fine. Come back down to meet us when you can. What we want to try to achieve here is lengthen the spine, lengthen the neck. So sometimes we'll come in and we'll come in here. And if we use the elbows a little towards the knees, we think shoulders down, and we grow the neck and we grow the spine, and we feel separation in the vertebrae. It feels really good. We're almost taller than when we started here. And then from there, we let the two hands come forward and we send the weight forward, big bend in the knees, and we let the head come down and back towards the heels. And then we bring ourselves back again to our low seated squat, and we find length in the spine, length in the neck. Before we go back again, we're going to turn the head over the left shoulder, and then we come back through center. We turn the head over the right shoulder, send it right back. The neck might creak a little bit, that's fine, as long as there's no pain. We're just loosening out, shoulders down. And then we bring the two hands down to the mat. We lift the seat bones up, soft bend in those knees, or a big bend actually, head down and back towards the heels. We bring our two hands down to our mat. We send the left knee in underneath, the right knee in underneath. We bring our two hands so that they are in line with the shoulders, they're not out. 10 fingers spread wide here. We tuck our toes in underneath and we sit back onto the heels. We put pressure into the hands a little in order to stretch out the feet again. So we're putting a bit of emphasis on the feet today because we tend to ignore them, and if your feet are working correctly and loosely, your ankles will work correctly, then your knees work correctly, your hips work correctly, less likely to cause any injury through. And in fact, a lot of back tension can come from the fact that feet are tight. So really important. We sit back on those heels, and then we walk ourselves up and we come to an upright position, but the feet are right in underneath, or the toes are right in underneath, and we're sitting on the heels. So not the nicest of places to be. If you find that you just hate it, we can come up to a higher kneeling position, or you can come in and out of it, come forward, shake out the toes, and then come back in and sit back in. So always come in and out if you need to. Otherwise, try to be here for a little few minutes. We bring our two arms up in line with our shoulders towards the ceiling. The palms are facing forwards. From here, we let the right arm come down and back behind us. We're thinking of sending the right palm right back, but the arm is lovely and straight. So you're getting that full range of motion into the shoulder. But then we also add in that the back of the left hand goes back. So the two hands go back in order to open the shoulders. Then we change over. The back of the right hand goes back, the palm of the left hand goes back. We change over, we change over, we change over. Last 3 and 2 and the last 1. Bring it back to center. Come forward onto the hands and shake out those toes. Ooh, always can feel that one. So 10 fingers again, still spread wide, arms in line with the shoulders. We're tucking the toes back in and we're thinking of our rib cage here. We want to lift the rib cage. So often if we come into a little bit of work when we're lifting ourselves, we come down here where that will bring us into our wrists. We want to think coming up into the shoulders, draw up the rib cage so that your last rib and your hip close a little. And then we're just simply going to lift the knees an inch off the mat and we place it back down. We lift the knees an inch off the mat, we're right up into those shoulders and we place it down. We lift the knees up, hold it here, 3, 2, 1, and then we send ourselves back into down dog. We send the 2 heels down. We walk our feet forward towards our hands. We come down onto our honkers like we're in a little ball. We bring the 2 hands in front. We send our back rib cage back as we send our chin to the chest. And then we bring our 2 hands behind us and we bring ourselves to seated on the mat. Lovely work, guys. Well done. Okay, so from here, we're going to come down and we're going to lie flat onto the mat. We'll bring our feet hip distance apart, so thinking of that tennis ball between the 2 feet. And then we'll bring our 2 arms down by our sides, but we think about sending the shoulder blades in underneath. So you can put a little bit of pressure into the arms to lift and send the shoulder blades in underneath so your shoulders are nice and flat on the mat. Placing your hands then on your pelvis will bring awareness to the pelvis and the movement through the pelvis. So at the moment you're probably in what we would call neutral spine, where there's a small gap in underneath, or it depends on your body shape. Sometimes you can be quite arched, but what we want to aim for in neutral spine is, or a neutral pelvis, is that there's a small gap between your spine and the floor. It's not too arched, but yet the spine isn't flat on the mat either. So keeping the hands on the pelvis, we'll send our pelvis away from the body and we send it down towards the heels. We then let the pelvis come back to what we would like to think is neutral, and then we send the pelvis back towards belly button so that the spine is now flat on the mat. We come back to center and then we tilt the pelvis down towards the heels. We come back to center, tilt the pelvis back now towards the belly button. The spine is flat on the mat. We come back to center and we go down towards the heels. We come back to center, back towards the belly button. And then we're going to come back to center, hold it here. We'll bring our 2 arms down by our sides now. Have a little check, maybe you need to resend those shoulder blades in underneath. Careful the rib cage doesn't flare up when you do so. We want to think of the rib cage being nice and relaxed. When the rib cage is relaxed, we can breathe a bit better. So we're going to tilt our pelvis down towards the heels again. We'll take a big inhale. And then as we exhale, we'll roll the pelvis through center, roll the pelvis back towards the belly button, and we press into our heels in order to start to lift the spine up off the floor. We want to roll the spine up vertebrae by vertebrae rather than just lifting the pelvis up. We come up to our shoulder bridge, we take a big inhale. Then as we exhale, we're thinking of just releasing the spine vertebrae by vertebrae. So if you were placing a bike chain down along the floor, it's link, 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 link. We go down, but think about the seat bones going towards the heels so that you find length in the spine. You land the seat bones and then you tilt the pelvis down towards the heels. The chin will naturally come to the chest. Take a big inhale. As we exhale, we tilt the pelvis back towards the belly button. We then begin to peel the spine back up off the floor. We roll ourselves back up. We're in our bridge. We're careful not to flare the ribcage again. We want to breathe. We take a big inhale. The knees going forward. Sometimes they'll go out left and right. We want to keep them going forward. And then as we exhale, we release the spine. Thinking of the seat bones going towards the heels so the vertebrae are spreading out. We land them down. We tilt the pelvis down towards the heels, chin to the chest. Last one here, take a big inhale, tilt the pelvis back towards the belly button. Begin to peel that spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Come up to the top, hold it here. We're going to go together but nice and slowly. So take a big, big inhale. And then as we exhale, thinking of the knees going forward, we just release our collarbones. We just released our chest bone. We start to release the mid-spine, but we think seat bones towards the heels. And we land the seat bones. When they land, we tilt the pelvis down towards the heels, chin to the chest. Beautiful work, guys. Hug those knees in, and we'll rock left and right from side to side. And then we'll place our feet back down onto the mat. We interlink our fingers. We bring the hands behind the head. We send the elbows lovely and wide. We want to avoid the elbows coming forward here. And sometimes if you've been used to going to the gym and things, well, the tummy crunches will be where you kind of come forward and pull the neck forward. We're thinking high and wide. So we take a big inhale, and as we exhale, we lift and we go high and wide, elbows up and wide, and then we release back down. We want to get the shoulder blades off the mat, so big inhale. As we exhale, we lift high and wide, and we release back down. Big inhale and exhale as we release, go up and wide and release back down. We lift up and wide, we hold it here for a little second and release back down. We lift up and wide, hold it for a little second and release back down. Next time we come up, we hold it, we bring our right leg to tabletop. So with tabletop, we want to think knee in line with the hip. It's not the knee back to the chest, because that will switch off your lower core muscles. And then we place that right foot back down and we release ourselves back down. Take a big inhale. As we exhale, we lift up, we bring the left leg to tabletop, we bring the left leg down and we release back down. We lift up, right leg, place it down, release back down. We lift up, could you go higher and wider? Left leg, place it back down, we release back down. Last one here, we lift up, right leg up, place it back down, hold it here. We're going to pulse up and wide. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Release yourselves back down. Lovely work, guys. We bring the two arms down by our sides. We bring the two knees in and then hug the knees in with the hands. We hug those two knees in. We send the left leg long and we really open that left hip. Point the toes, find length in the leg. We hug that right knee in. We send the left hand to the right knee. We open out with the right arm. We look over the right shoulder. And then with the left hand, we bring that right knee across the body. We really try to send the twist into the body by keeping the right shoulder down and then bringing the right knee across. We'll take a big inhale and breathing particularly into the right rib cage, and then as we exhale, we let that right knee come across. We keep the right shoulder down. Take a big inhale, and then as we exhale, the right shoulder down, knee across. Take a big inhale, and then as we exhale, the right knee across, shoulder down. We come back to center. We hug those two knees in again. We bring the two hands down by our sides and then rock ourselves up to seated. We turn and we come to sit cross-legged. Find your seat bones by sitting a little bit forward and then coming and sitting lovely and upright. Take a big inhale, send the hands up to the ceiling. As we exhale, we open out. We bring the chin to the chest, arms slightly behind. Take a big inhale, send the hands up to the ceiling. And then as we exhale, we open out, chin to chest. And guys, I hope you enjoyed that class. Thank you very much for joining me.